Today on DNVR Buffs Live, the real story behind Trevor Reilly's contact with the Saudi PIF. I can't believe we're talking about this kind of stuff. And also, I have a message that I want to deliver to all of Buff Nation. Let's do it. Let's go. 1 week.
1 week, man. Coming to you live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota Stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. We are talking about the craziest thing of the offseason.
Do you think that this is the last foolishness that we have to deal with before kickoff?
No. No.
I don't think so either. I'm in such a good mood today.
This was one of the first things I saw when I woke up, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
But like, I don't know. Some of these things are like serious, like you get like serious mad about.
Right.
This one, you just kind of have to laugh about because there's been times where we get up here and we're like, this story is like a lie, you know?
Exactly. Yes.
That's not, I don't think, the problem with this story.
No.
The problem with this story isn't even, in my perspective, necessarily about the story itself. It is about the way that people are taking what the story is about, throwing that to the side, and making it about something else, which at this point we should be used to. But it doesn't make it any less annoying, I guess.
Yeah. Welcome back, by the way.
Great to be back. Great job holding down the show, as always.
Thank you.
Shout out to... I usually come up with a nickname for him every time. I don't know.
Come on.
Scotty Style.
All right.
I like, he always brings it with the fits.
He does.
He also held it down. Dre as well. Appreciate you guys. And this time I don't have to be so secretive about where I was because the cat's kind of out of the bag.
Yeah.
But we can talk about that another time, other than just, I know there's a lot of you out there in Dallas. So ALLCITY's coming to you. Cowboys, Mavs, Rangers, Stars coverage coming to the ALLCITY network. So that's really exciting. I've been in Dallas a bunch recently. Still hot there.
Yeah.
Yep. No different than the last time we were there. Very, very warm.
Well, can't wait to not have to go there for another year.
Okay, so let's get into this.
Yeah. Do we even want to read anything from this, man?
If you want to, you're always good at that.
Okay.
I think to understand this story and why it's kind of funny to those that are in the know, you kind of have to understand a little bit more about Trevor Reilly.
Yes.
And I'm honestly not here to like throw dirt on Trevor Reilly's name whatsoever. But you got to understand that he is a weird guy.
He is very different.
He is a different person. And I personally don't think even he would deny that. And the reason why I think that's important is just because when some random like West Virginia fan in Morgantown reads this story, like they just have so much less understanding of what this story is actually about than us. And again, you can't really blame them. There's no real way to know unless you know. Trevor Reilly is a guy who had a friend of a friend who kind of knew Coach Prime, got a recommendation to potentially come in, told Coach Prime, I'll do anything to be on your staff. This is at Jackson.
Yep.
Coach Prime said, all right, why don't you come down and like we'll see like what we can figure out for you. A rare snowstorm hits the south. Wherever Trevor is, he can't get on a plane to make it to Jackson. So Trevor Reilly goes to the nearest car dealership, buys the first car he can.
Like a car lot, not a dealership.
Oh, yeah, just the nearest whatever.
Yeah.
Like, Rocky's Autos is the way I imagine it in my head here in Colorado. Buys the first car he can, hops in it, drives to Jackson State, earns the respect of Coach Prime for that alone, and, works his way into being involved with the program. When Coach Prime comes to Colorado, he brings Trevor Reilly with him. Trevor is made the special teams coordinator. And, you talk to any of the special teamers, they'll tell you what an interesting cat he is. But from everything that I have been told previously to today, and then especially today, and the several conversations that I've had today, everyone wants to tell their Trevor Reilly story today, was never involved with the Colorado NIL. I know in the story he mentioned that like at Jackson he was doing the NIL stuff. I have no perspective on that. I don't know if he was. At Colorado, he wasn't asked to do the NIL stuff. As we know, the 5430 Collective is like a whole business.
Yes.
They've got plenty of people and plenty of resources working for them. And so, according to the story, according to Trevor's resignation letter when he left the team, he was upset about this whole situation. And this is where the haters almost ruined my mood today. Because Trevor Reilly, who, again, is kind of leaking this story, and what his motives are for that, I don't know. But even he, in the story, details it this way, quote, I even went to Saudi Arabia, got a meeting with the Saudis who are interested in pursuing business. I have email receipts to prove it. Bold letters from me. And you guys let it fall flat on its face. Jake, that's the beginning and end of the story.
Yes.
The story, the headline should be Colorado staffer goes rogue, seeks out meeting with Saudis. Colorado declines.
Yes.
That's the end of the story, and it's in his words. That's not me coming to you guys, because everyone wants to question our credibility or whatever. Not
of course.
Our fans, but everyone else.
Right.
This isn't me coming to you guys being like, I talked to a source within the program who told me they never, further sought out this after hearing from Trevor Reilly, and, then you can decide if you believe them or not. No, this is Trevor Reilly who's actually stating this in complaint form. I did this and you guys didn't even do anything with it. But then the story becomes Colorado, which of course you say Colorado, you immediately invoke Coach Prime. Colorado and Coach Prime sought out Saudi money via Trevor Reilly. Again, in the story, Reilly said he acted on his own accord trying to pull in donors. I did nothing illegal and was trying to help Colorado the best way I knew how. So that part, I think, also should be noted. I'm not necessarily mad at Trevor Reilly for doing this, because in his weird ways, I actually think he was trying to help. And was acting from a good place when he tried to do this, right? Now, leaking it and kind of, causing a fuss about it, I think the motives are different. But in the moment, I don't think he was, I legitimately think he thought this was a good idea and thought he was doing great help for the program, and was probably genuinely surprised when he wasn't met with enthusiasm. Then he's hey, I got us a meeting with the Saudi PIF. They want to invest in our NIL. And someone was probably cool, thanks, Trevor. Yeah. We'll get back to you on that. So that's why the story's kind of funny to me, because I and you and some other people just kind of know how Trevor Reilly is. And I really think that he was probably genuinely fired up that he got this, and was genuinely confused why no one was patting him on the back for it.
Yes. Wasn't it last offseason we were talking about like Florida State or someone
Yes.
like talking about PIF money? Mm-hmm. That has to be where the inspiration's from.
Yeah, and so like, I was joking before the show, and I was like, it would be like if someone who produces a totally different show came to us and is like, guys, trying to do anything and everything to sell these Buffs tailgate tickets. Like, I went down to like the local like dog shelter, was handing out flyers to everyone, like, and we're just like, wait, what? Why did you do that? Like, no one asked you to do that. And like, then there's like genuine confusion of like, yeah, I couldn't believe they weren't like patting me on the back for going to do that when I like went out of my way to try and help. But no one asked Trevor Reilly to do that, and from everything I've heard, he was not asked to help with the NIL collective at all. No. So, odd story. Can't believe we're dealing with this today. But the frustrating part is that everyone's trying to make this about the program, about Coach Prime, when in the article coming from Trevor himself, he tells you that he did it on his own, and then no one acted upon it after that.
Yeah, man. I can't believe this is what we're talking about. You truly have to stay on your toes when it comes to this team because you just never know what's going to come
We should create like like a slot machine wheel, but it creates the next Colorado headline, and like we just throw like a bunch of random like names in it for the first part.
We should make like
the next part is like an action. The next part is and like then we just spin the wheel and it's like Mark Vassett like threw an axe off of a roof.
Well, I was gonna say we should just make like a Mad Libs book.
Yes, exact same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. Just like a fill in the blank, because every day it's just like some rant. Like literally, one of the things in that wheel could have been special teams assistant traveled to Saudi Arabia, tried to get a meeting with the Saudis. Like it really feels like we're just spinning a random generator.
It's crazy, man. For the record, Trevor did like obviously thank Coach Prime and Rick George for the opportunity and all that. Like he wasn't like vengeful or anything. Like he said that like thank you for the opportunity. There was, in the story it says he was at odds with a few people in Colorado's administration. I don't know, like it's just like normal work stuff, but Trevor Reilly's just different.
Yeah. The one, no, this is even better. The ones that are like pick one thing from the first column is like your birthday, and so it's like for me it would be like 9. I pick out that one. The next one is like your favorite color, and like that's it. And then we'll make a graphic, and it's like pick out your random Colorado headline, and then people will quote it.
Yes,
that's gonna be good. We're gonna do that.
There you go.
So, yeah, wild
I'm just
story.
blown away.
Wild story.
I'm blown away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Jeez.
Again, I guess the last thing I'll say on this is like I think it's pretty lame to then like leak your resignation letter to the media.
What is that?
And then like cause a stir about it. Like it's a little weird.
Trevor Reilly is very weird.
He is weird.
We thank him for his service, and we wish him well.
Yes.
But that's that.
All right.
Let's talk some football.
What do you got for me?
We got quite a bit. There's
that was
a lot going
fast
on.
15 minutes. I missed you guys.
We missed you too. Trust me. Shout out to Uncle Neely and Coach Pollock for coming on as well.
Yes. And in all of this mess, this is how they got George Helow.
Which we will get to and finally get your thoughts on, yes.
Cool.
But that is what allowed them to hire another coach, and that being George Helow. All right, let's take a break and shout out our friends over at Game Time. Coach Prime is challenging Buff Nation and everyone in the country really to go sell out a week from today, week 1 against the North Dakota State Bison.
Oh, by the way, I'm strictly calling them the Bison. I'm not saying it the way that they want us to say it.
How do they want us to say it?
Bison.
Okay, so chat, I have a bone to pick with you, chat.
Uh-oh.
We scouted NDSU on Thursday, and I did the whole show No comments in the live chat. Dre said nothing. Alyssa said nothing about how I was saying bison. And then in the post-show comments, they're saying, I can't wait till NDSU week is over so Jake will stop calling him the bison with a Z.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not how I said it. That's how I thought.
I don't know. I saw the comment
now
too.
The chat is gaslighting me like you do.
We're all in on the bit together.
What is going on?
Me and the chat are we're having fun gaslighting you.
So anyways, head on over to Game Time so you can get your tickets for Colorado versus the North Dakota State Bison.
There you go.
Not just sporting events, but concerts, anything else that's going on in your city. Kale's got it pulled up right there. Is the Game Time app. You can see the view from your seat. Check out the whole stadium. It's just an awesome little app to help you find the best tickets for whatever you may have going on in your city. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that promo code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code BUFFS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it?
Game time.
Game time.
That was actually the beginning of our rallying cry when I played football. Like our pre-game huddle. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. I think the next part was, any dogs in the house?
Yeah, that's Ray Lewis from the Under Armour commercial back in the
Hell
day.
yeah, that was what we did.
Breck
Our
Brew.
team wasn't very like I was just in the regular ass public league, so we didn't even have a logo. It was just we were just the black jerseys team.
Nice.
I think we called ourselves the Bulldogs. So, anyways, shout out Breck Brew, the official craft beer of DNVR. There's something about Breck Brew in football season that just goes together so well.
Can't wait.
Whether it's the Broncos Country Hoppy Pale Ale, Avalanche Amber goes well with football. Heck, early in the season here, Breck Lagers very much hit. Obviously, you're a Mountain Beach guy.
Love it.
Anyways, they've got a new West Coast style IPA. It's called Ridge Runner. It's a double dry hopped brew inspired by the untamed beauty of Colorado's trails and creates notes of bright citrus and pine. You can check out where you find it near you by going to the beer locator at breckbrew.com, and you can find any beer near you there, which is pretty great.
Today I walked outside from my apartment and it's still, what was the high, 83 or something?
Okay.
But it's 83 and it was a little crisp in the air. It's a week out from week one. I feel it in my bones, man.
I do too. I'm a morning coffee on the patio guy.
Yeah.
It's my ultimate Zen moment. Mm-hmm. And when I went out there today, I was like, it's no longer tank top.
Yep.
Out here season anymore. Yep. It was kind of almost like maybe a hoodie because it was very early, but
it's perfect right now out here.
Yep.
All right, you have something you want to say.
Okay. So, Buff Nation. I love you guys. And the funny thing about me is I am just when I leave the show, I just go I revert right back to just I'm now just a fan.
Yeah.
And so as I was traveling the last couple of weeks, all I'm doing is consuming everyone's content, whether it's our content, Adam's content, T-Cal's content, and Folsom Frenzy's content, whoever it is, I'm just trying to soak up as much Buffs content as I can. But when I was listening to the Folsom Frenzy podcast, something hit me. And first of all, love you guys. You're great. Mm-hmm. And I totally relate to the position that they were coming from. But while they were talking, there was so much hurt from the past that I felt was coloring their view of this season. A lot of negativity that I don't even feel I want to repeat because it's I want to not. I was knocking on wood for them as they were saying well, this could happen and that could happen. I'm please stop. For the longest time, and shout out to my original co-host on this show, we have referred to that as Buff shit. It's the old anything that can go wrong will go wrong idea. Mm-hmm. When the other team returns the opening kick and you're down 7-0 before you damn near even had your first sip of beer in the stadium, Buff shit. When I don't know, this has never happened, but say you're up 31-3 and you blew that lead in the second half.
When your coach leaves for another program in February.
Yes. It's always Buff shit. And so I'm with them. I've been there. But I think back to a time when this same exact idea and feeling existed for the Denver Nuggets. For them, it's known as Nug Life. And our DNVR Nuggets show, which was amazing, before the 2023 season, had on, and it's great that Kale's here for this, because he was there.
It's true.
Had on a tarot card reader. In fact, they do that before every season.
Shout out Ariana, the good witch.
And the last card that they asked her to pull was a card for the fans. And Kale, do you remember the name of the card?
It was the reverse pentacles or something like that. But basically, the takeaway, what she said to us, she goes, as Nuggets fans, we need to let go of hell. Let go of hell.
Preach. And that is what I was thinking as I listened to them previewing the season. Buff Nation, it is time to let go of hell. We have to let all of these things that have hurt us in the past and color our view of the way anything could go moving forward, of like nothing good can happen to us because the other shoe is always about to drop. I truly believe in my heart of hearts, that's not one of the cards, I don't think. I truly believe in my heart of hearts that we have to let that go and not believe it's going to happen for it to go away. We must let go of hell. We cannot walk in to the stadium next Thursday night with fear in our hearts. Mm-hmm. And I'm not a tarot card reader, and I don't even really know what that means. But I do really, really, really believe in the power of manifestation in both ways. You can manifest great things to happen. You can manifest negative things to happen. So my prayer is that Buff Nation can let go of hell and walk into the stadium believing that this team can achieve greatness and not sitting there with nervous energy. Because I even felt it when we were at ALLCITY Field. There's a great crowd there, but I could feel like nervousness as they were watching. And I get it. Like, we all want this program to be great, but we've all also been hurt a lot. The last thing I'll say on this is I really, truly believe in sports vulnerability. And I don't expect everyone to be with me on this because everyone handles things differently. But I am a believer that you should be vulnerable as a sports fan. Expect the best, because the feeling that you get when you allowed yourself to be as excited as possible and then it pays off is amazing. But even when it doesn't and you end up being wrong, it's kind of like cathartic as well. I think that staying even kind of takes out what I love about sports, which is the highs and the lows. So ride the roller coaster and remember that in the end, it's all going to be okay. But let go of hell.
I love
Death to Buff shit. That's the hashtag.
I love it. I think I kind of referenced that a bit some point this offseason. I want to say maybe it was right after the season when we were going through the Jordan Seaton saga, because the fan base had like a certain like swagger and confidence from last offseason, from all the disrespect of how the roster was built, from all the disrespect Shedeur and Travis and Coach were taking last offseason. And then they walked into TCU and they pull off one of the biggest upsets in recent memory in college football. And we were just like, you couldn't talk shit to us at that point, right? Mm-hmm. And it just grew from there. After Nebraska, it grew a little bit more. CSU maybe kind of stayed even neutral, but we were still, there were signs of progression. We walk into Oregon, we get punched in the mouth. I don't even think we really lost too much of it then. But it was after and I'm sorry, but after the Stanford game,
Thank you for apologizing.
it was a lot of that, I think. A lot of thinking of, this is Buff shit again. Here we go. And was how last season ended great? No. But after the season ended, and especially after the Utah game, when Shedeur didn't play, Travis was hurt, calls are going against us, all this stuff is going wrong. The team is on its last legs depth-wise. Yeah. And they go out there and they take it to Utah, who was also in a similar situation, banged up.
Yeah.
But you go toe-to-toe with Utah in Utah, one of the toughest places to play.
Probably would have won if Travis Hunter didn't get 2 touchdowns stolen from him.
Yes. But that should have been the recollection point of okay, this is Coach Prime's team. We've got all these players. We're set up for 24. But then we go into the Jordan Seaton saga, and it's so much negativity. Oh, do we even want him to come anymore if he's playing these games? That type of stuff. And that's where I was like, guys, we need to let it go. You are on the doorstep of the top offensive tackle in the 2024 recruiting class.
Yep.
You can't think that way.
Totally. And trust me, I'm not trying to single out Folsom Frenzy or anything. They just are the ones who made it clear to me.
Right.
In I've been there. I was there with Jordan Seaton. I was on the wrong side of that because I was letting my emotional protection step in.
Yeah.
I also forgot one thing. The Nuggets won the championship that season.
Mm-hmm.
When they let go of hell, and the fan base let go of hell, Nug Life was gone.
No, Nug Life wasn't gone. We reclaimed Nug Life.
There you go. Nug Life became a good thing.
Yeah.
So when Shedeur Sanders throws a touchdown with 2 seconds left to win the game,
that's Buff shit.
That's Buff shit.
Yep. When Travis Hunter wins the Paul Hornung Award as the most versatile player, and both of those guys are sent to New York for the Heisman, and we're talking about Big 12 championship game preview, that's Buff shit.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. So, let's let go of hell.
Well said, man.
Oh, and by the way, the same guy who came up with "Don't break a sweat on the escalator" last night, laying in bed, he had a new one.
Oh, here we go. Gather around, kids.
Don't forget that there's cameras on the roller coaster. The point being, you're on the roller coaster, and then you go, and remember there's a picture at the end? Smile. The roller coaster, smile because there's a camera.
What's up, Connor?
It is a while. You got to enjoy the roller coaster so that the camera, when they snap the pic, you're not you don't have your tail between your legs. You got a big smile.
Well said. It's great advice. Okay. Let's actually talk about today in the team. Shout out to our friends over at UC Health.
That 15 minutes went by quick too.
Yeah. It's nice having you back, I tell you what. Shout out to UC Health. Coach Prime is leading their Ready, Set, Co initiative. Coach Prime and UC Health wants to help you and other Coloradans be your healthiest selves. Coach Prime is serving as the Chief Motivation Officer of UC Health's Ready, Set, Co challenge. The goal of that challenge is to get Colorado back to its rightful place as the healthiest state in the country. There's a lot of things you could do with that. You could eat better. You could go to sleep earlier. You could go to the gym. I mean, you could let go of hell. There's a lot of things that you could do to make yourself a healthier and better person. And UC Health just wants to encourage you to do what you can. If you want to join UC Health's Ready, Set, Co challenge, click the link in the show notes or go to www.uchealth.org/readysetco.
Call UC Health today and just say, hey, I'm trying to let go of hell. Can you help me?
They're going to send an ambulance after you.
Also, shout out to Bet365. If you want to let go of hell and then get paid to do so later, you can go over to Bet365, bet on the Buffs. I think they've moved up to a 9.5 point favorite now.
Yes. Do you want to hear my parlay I made too?
Yeah.
So after Sunday's Broncos game.
Oh, you're going to say the exact same parlay I made. Go ahead.
After Sunday's Broncos game, not even after Sunday's Broncos game, after Bo Nix was taken out in Sunday's game, I went to Bet365. I took over Broncos 5.5 wins, and I took over Buffs 5.5 wins and put them together.
As did I.
Hell yeah.
As did
Hell
I.
yeah.
And then, of course, because I'm me, I did a few other things as well, such as Buffs over alternate wins, which you can buy it up to 6.5 at plus 185 with Broncos normal wins. They wouldn't let me do alternate.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did Broncos alternate over wins with Buffs normal wins. So yeah, we were on the same page. I'm there with the Broncos. I am who I am. I'm gonna get there no matter what.
See, I mean, I said that in April, and you were giving me shit for it. So
I don't know. We've taken very different paths to get to the same place.
but we've ended up here.
I feel like I had one more thing to say, but I forgot what it was.
CU's plus 2,500 to win the Big 12.
Yep, and on that as well. I was not, though, the bettor that was referenced on Twitter the other day who put $10,000 on it. But a lot of people tagged me saying, is this you? I was like, man, I wish I had it like that, but I do not. Another great phrase from those guys. I haven't quite figured out how this applies to the Buffs directly yet, but there's no such thing as a hole in zero. You got to swing.
You got to swing.
Can't get a hole in zero.
Yep.
Got to swing at least once.
Love it.
These guys are good.
Use the code DNVR365 to sign up. Deposit $10 for the bet and get offer. Place a bet of $5 or more, whether it wins or loses. After that clears, you get $150 in bonus bets. You must be 21 or older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
He's always got my back, guys.
I got you, bro. All right. To today. Another gold jacket is in Boulder.
Let's go.
We had.
Don't let him leave.
I don't think you were. Were you here when we talked about Ray Lewis last week?
I think at some point we did talk about Ray Lewis together.
Well, the Batman to his Robin or vice versa, whatever you want to do.
Yep.
Ed Reed was in town today.
Yeah.
Coach Prime's great friend also.
Absolutely. First of all, if we didn't talk about Ray Lewis, that was moving.
Yeah.
Like, I was locked in. Mm-hmm. And then Ed Reed, one of my favorite players ever to watch.
Same.
So cool to have him up there. And the opportunities that these guys have received, and the types of people that they get to make connections with, and like, if you do it right, you can make a real connection. You know, like, you can sit in the back of the room and watch Ed Reed walk in, walk out, and be good.
Yeah.
Or I'll take Shiloh out of this because he obviously already has a relationship there. But like, if you're Cam,
who did you see the picture?
No. Did he post a picture of the two of them? I was gonna say, and I had no idea of this, but I was gonna say, if you're Cam Silman Craig, you have the opportunity to go up to him on the field later, make a real relationship.
I'm sending this to you, Kel.
Get his number, and have a connection with arguably the best safety of all time.
Yep.
You already have the best corner of all time in your corner. You can have him. You can call him when you're in an NFL camp and you're struggling with something, or you need help with this or that. You can call him when you have a question about watching film and how to process this. Like, these opportunities that Coach Prime brings for these guys are amazing on their surface, but also can go so much deeper and take you so much further depending on how you capitalize on it. And it's so funny that you have the picture of Cam, because I just was going to use him as an example because I figure he's the type of person who knows how to take advantage of opportunities like this. But it can't be understated just how special it is for these guys to get to talk to Ed Reed, to be coached by Warren Sapp, to be coached by Deion Sanders. And like I said at the very beginning of this, don't let him leave. He looks good in black and gold.
He does. He obviously has the itch to kind of coach too.
Yep.
We know what happened at Bethune-Cookman, but and Coach Prime's a great example of it. These greats of the game have obviously real life knowledge, not just with the game, but real life professionally, relationships to pass on to the younger players, the next generation, if you will. So it'd be incredible if Ed Reed ended up in black and gold, man. I mean, shoot. How does recruiting not just go nuclear at that point?
Yep.
I mean, seriously.
And, it just goes back to, I really appreciate Ray Lewis talked about it. Ed Reed talked about it. I know Coach Prime talks about it. I know Warren Sapp talks about it. And we talk about it a lot on this show. But the emphasis on studying, it truly can't be overstated. And I was having a conversation with a former NFL player when I was in Dallas this week, and I just brought this up. I just told him the biggest thing that I learned when I was in NFL locker rooms covering teams was how the film actually separates people.
Right.
Talent obviously separates it. In this case, referring to the NFL, when you get to the NFL, everyone's talented. So the only way you can really separate yourself, other than the very few, and I'm not saying they didn't watch film, but if you're Adrian Peterson, your physical gifts are so great that you have a leg up on everyone else's talent. But the greatest of the greats were the ones who combined the best talent with the best studying. And this particular person was telling me about Tom Brady and just how it was unbelievable how detailed his preparation was. And it's these guys haven't talked to Tom Brady before, but if you talk to Tom Brady about who the hardest defensive player to play against, if you talk to Peyton Manning about who the hardest player to play against, they're going to tell you guys like Ed Reed and Ray Lewis. And Ed Reed and Ray Lewis are going to come tell you that the way that they did that was by studying. Mm-hmm. And it's just these guys, I truly believe a team in college football could increase their win total by multiple wins just by studying better than their opponent.
Yep. I think about what Coach Sapp recently said when he was on the podium, how for someone who never wanted to do this, how addicted he was to it. And it's because I think when, for those guys who are at that level, who played at that level, who have that certain notoriety to them, their name carries weight, right? They want to share, naturally, you want to share your experiences. You want to share your knowledge, right?
Yeah.
I don't think there's many people who reach pinnacles like that who just go, no. I'm sure I don't want to share how I got here with anyone. It was all me. They want to share. They want to help out the next generation. And that's why Coach Sapp is so addicted to it right now. I think that's why Coach Prime got into it. He saw his kids coming up, eventually caught on. Coach Reed, I just call him Coach Reed, but Ed Reed is kind of caught on to that as well, I think.
You can call him that.
But I think that's why, these guys, they come around Boulder and they love it so much, man. It's because these kids, the babies, as Coach Sapp would call them, but the players under Coach Prime, they want to reach that upper echelon. That's their goal. And they really want and care about learning as much as they can about the process from whoever they can, obviously from Coach Prime's great tree of contacts.
Yes. And what's crazy about it is these guys have to deal with so much outside foolishness just that comes along with the territory. But actually, inside the confines of the Champion Center, it is so about ball.
Yes, it is.
Completely and utterly about ball. And it reminds me of something Coach Prime said last week, maybe. And I'm probably going to butcher it a little bit, but it was something along the lines of God's not going to bless you without someone else trying to stress you.
Right.
And that's what I think about this is they are in this football, cornucopia inside the Champion Center where it's just unbelievable knowledge just exuding from everyone.
Right.
That's the blessing, but it has to come with something, which is this outside distraction of people trying to take down the program. And it just lines up so perfectly with what Coach Prime was talking about last week. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that these guys get these opportunities and get to make of them what they want to.
All right, we got 20 minutes left. We're going to get to questions, so get them in now. You missed a few things.
Catch me up.
Okay, I will. I need you to be quick here. We can't go on too many tangents. So
okay, I'm kind of in a tangenty mood.
All right. We're going to start from oldest to newest. As you mentioned, Trevor Reilly leaves the staff. That leads the void. George Helow hired, former big-time coach, position coach for Michigan, Florida State, Alabama, Georgia, I think, as well. I mean, he's been all over.
Okay, first of all, huge upgrade.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens with special teams. I don't know. Have they announced that?
It's going to be a similar approach where a lot of the people on staff,
But
assistant-wise...
we had specifically heard a name. I was just wondering if that is that out there yet. Okay, no. Anyways, George Helow, huge upgrade. Do you know what was he doing before he came here?
So he was hired in December by Nick Saban to immediately help Alabama scout Michigan for the Rose Bowl.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because he was on Michigan staff the year before. He was let go ahead of the 23 season.
Okay. So was he still on with Alabama when he came to Colorado, or was it
I'd
like
assume not. It's a new coaching staff there.
Okay. Oh, you're right. Forgot about that. I saw some people try to like detract from that on Twitter too. Like, stop acting like he was on Alabama staff. He was just hired for one game. It was like, it's still an unbelievable compliment from Nick Saban to hire you to prepare for that game. Okay. Let's go. Move on.
We had Coach Pollock on the show when Neely called in on last Thursday, whatever day it was. Savell Small is impressing at tight end.
Again, that goes back to the Tajay McCoy found money.
Mm-hmm.
If Savell Smalls ends up being a player for you at tight end, that is found money.
Isaiah Harge earns a gray jersey. He is, as you saw on Friday, 2 ways on both second teams.
Hell yeah. Good for him, man.
Zay Weaver has been absolutely balling out for the Cardinals and has a legitimate shot to make the game day 53-man roster.
Love that you brought this up because I just tweeted about this earlier. Here was a quote from Arizona Cardinals offensive coordinator Drew Petzing on Xavier Weaver. Quote, "One of the things that stood out that is nice to see, especially from an undrafted rookie, he's kind of unflappable." And then he goes on to say this: "The lights are never too bright, whether it's a practice rep or fourth quarter in a critical situation." Now, why do you think that is, Jake?
Because he was in the spotlight all last year.
And so I quote tweeted it and I said, I have a feeling you're going to hear this a lot about Colorado players moving forward when they go to the NFL. Dude, these guys have already been on the biggest stage.
Yeah, they've already been picked apart by the vultures of the media.
And they've, played and known that 10 million people were watching, 12 million people were watching. So I think you're going to hear a lot of stories of players that come out of Coach Prime's program, go to the NFL, and it might even be like a step back in terms of the attention on you and what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Unless you're like this, the first round pick in New York.
Right, for sure. He's going to make this roster, and he's going to play a lot. This is actual news from today. Do you remember Javon McFadden?
Yes.
Jordan Seaton's cousin?
Yeah.
He has set a commitment date and a top 4. He will be committing on August 24th. Are we good?
Yes, show's live.
Okay.
Okay.
It's back.
He will be committing on August 24th with a top 4 between CU, Maryland, South Carolina, Ohio State. Watch CU, watch Ohio State.
Okay.
Miss Peggy Cobham got an NIL deal.
The legend.
Yep.
Also, I love that we're calling it an NIL deal.
That's what it is.
Yeah, kind of. But amazing. The case is incredible. Peggy is a legend. And this just goes to like one of those questions. I think I can't remember where I discussed this. But, this idea of like, why are Colorado fans like so in on Coach Prime when he only won 4 games last year? And it's like, you just don't understand all of the other stuff that's going on. First of all, where they came from. I'm not going to go down that whole road right now, but like Coach Prime's respect and honor towards the traditions at Colorado, the people like Peggy, Coach Prime didn't have to do the Pearl Street Stampede. He's doing that still. Keeping the pride and tradition slogan on the walls, like all of that stuff, it means a lot. And so, we've said it from the very beginning. Nobody gets it. like Coach Prime. It just more show you, it just shows you even more how much he gets it.
On Tuesday, Coach Hart spoke on the podium for the first time during camp. He said Nakai Hill, Green, and JB are currently pushing Woods and Bentley for first team honors.
Awesome. I mean, that should tell us that we got 4.
Nope. Exactly that. And it's what Corey talked about on the show. Every position's been improved. The competition has been just turned up another notch at all rooms. And I'm sure it makes Andre Hart's job a little more difficult having to figure this out. But he's probably also a lot happier because he knows he has a better room this year.
Totally. But that also tells us that what kind of confirms what we thought of Levante and Trevor being the starters.
Right. 11 Buffs have made the Senior Bowl watch list. NFL is just going to be watching very, very closely this year, as we already knew.
To me, the most notable... I thought you were going to list them. That's why I was waiting.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. The most notable thing about this was the response of Justin Mayers and Tyler Brown, who were not on this list. My flight landed yesterday in Denver, and I just opened up my Twitter. The first 2 tweets were both like those 2 guys with like kind of cryptic tweets about like being overlooked and all this stuff, and I was like, "What did I miss? What happened?" And I came to find out that had come out, and those guys were both just kind of putting their stamp on the motivation that it gave them, that they were left off of that list. And I have a feeling that at least one, if not both of them, will be there at the end of it all.
Nope. Khalil Benson, BJ Green, Dayon Hayes, Preston Hodge, Jimmy Horn Jr., Travis Hunter, Shador Sanders, Shiloh Sanders, Will Shepard, Mark Vassett, LeJontay Wester.
I'll tell you right now, I don't think Shador Sanders is going to the Senior Bowl.
I don't know, man.
I don't think Travis will either.
I think if Shador has the season we think he's going to have, and maybe Carson Beck also has a really good season, and there's a legitimate conversation for first overall pick, I think Shador would go, especially to compete against said Carson Beck.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think he's would ever run from competition. I just think that there's the guys that are at the top don't really go anymore.
There's been more of them somewhat recently.
Okay. We'll see. I hope he goes. Give us a reason to go there.
Yep.
Back where it all began.
I know, huh? That'd be nice. That'd be cool.
All right.
That's it, I think. Holy cow. Next Thursday can't come soon enough, bro.
Yeah, I know. Also, only one more... should be only one more show that I miss between now and game day.
Yes.
So I'm happy about that.
Me too.
How was your move?
Oh, my God.
Eric asks.
It was moving. It actually went pretty smoothly. Pretty undramatic, honestly, which is good. But it's been really nice.
So I have lived in the same building for 3 years now. And the number one... first of all, I love it. But the number one reason why I haven't even tried to look to see if I wanted to live somewhere else is because of how much I hate moving. And I've just decided the next place I move to is going to be a home that I own.
Yeah, I get that. This is the 5th time in my life I've moved in the month of August.
Interesting.
All within the last 7 years.
Why do you keep moving in the hottest month? It just poor planning?
It's not by choice, honestly. I didn't get hired here until August, so that's why I moved this August. Was 2 years ago. This is when I was hired.
Yep.
When my family left Albuquerque 4 or 5 years ago, we left in August. Both times I went out to Pennsylvania to work with SIS was in August. Mm-hmm. It is what it is.
Well, we launched Phoenix in August. Now we're launching Dallas in August, so I understand the
Don't forget, we launched Chicago in January, so just really picking the worst times.
We launched Chicago in March, but that means we were there all of February.
Yes,
but PHL wide, wasn't that last August as well?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that actually wasn't so bad.
The Philly in August is nice.
But that Dallas heat right now is crazy.
Yeah, you excited to go back again in a week or so?
I don't know. After experiencing the TCU game last year, like walking from like a door to the car in that heat is just like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But when you're in it for 4 straight hours, it's pretty ridiculous. Actually, it was longer than that. I mean, we got to the tailgate at 7 a.m. and the game probably ended at what, 2, 3?
Press conferences, walking around the stadium.
Well, you were in the press box.
Well, thank God I was, yes. So we got a little bit of a break, but me, Alyssa, and RG still walked to like Whataburger down the street after. Like we were out there, man.
Yeah, that is a different heat.
What's next?
Real quick, Wayne Morgan is incredibly suspicious of me, so I'm a normal guy. There's nothing to be scared of. It's me. I don't know what to do. I produce the Nugget Show. That's why you don't know me.
Also,
There you go.
950 watching, hit the like button.
Yep.
Not a ton of real questions. We want to get into super chats.
Yeah. If you have questions, we have. What time is it?
9 minutes. We got 9
We
minutes.
have 9
left.
minutes. So while we read these super chats, get your questions in the chat. Who's first? Big Beats Franklin. Yo, we got a campaign to get you guys a separate Buff studio. Something more exclusive because seeing CSU and others in the same setting is cringy AF.
That's so
Oh,
funny. One, even that you're watching those. I feel like no one ever
Right.
notices because they wouldn't watch those. 2, every time we do go to another studio, everyone complains about that.
We can't win, man.
But I'd be down. Well, technically, there's something coming on that front.
When is the announcement?
I almost just threw someone under the bus, but I decided not to. Soon. Either tomorrow or Monday.
Okay. There
Would
go.
you say stay tuned?
I would say stay tuned. The only thing, inside baseball here, I don't like making announcements on Friday.
Because you don't want to Friday news dump?
Yeah, exactly. Like Friday's usually for bad news.
Right.
3 o'clock, just let it go away as everyone goes home and enjoys their weekend. So it'll probably be Monday.
Monday sounds good to me.
Yep.
Wait, are you here Monday, though?
No,
So Tuesday?
we'll figure it out.
Okay. Soon. 94's Finest asks, that is also how I feel regarding Juju. Fans need to chill out 100%. Prime sets his eyes on a 5-star every year and makes sure he gets them. Travis, Cormani, JC, Juju, and there's more to come. I promise you that.
I've kind of like tapped in and out with Juju updates once in a while. Still feel really good.
That's what I've been saying too. Out here, Trucking and Fitness says, Arcane Jake, I'm flying in from Baltimore for the CU K-State game. Any hotel suggestions you recommend in Boulder? Also, if I run into you guys, it would be dope if I could get a pic. Can't wait. Absolutely, man. Come out
course.
to the tailgate.
Never hesitate to ask us to take pictures. I wish my head is spinning, so I'm forgetting names right now. But when we walked into the ALLCITY field,
yeah.
like we're like in the media entrance with other media, and all these people are coming asking us to take pictures. That was dope.
Yeah, that was sick. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, you guys are the best. Come to the tailgate for sure. As for a hotel in Boulder, it all depends on what you're willing to spend. The St. Julian's obviously the nicest one, but it's also the most expensive. If you're looking for to save a couple bucks, I would stay in Louisville, basically right off the 36 exit there. There's a few like standard whatever like Courtyard Marriott type of places.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to look outside of Boulder.
Louisville area, Superior, whatever. Like those are really close, and it's 8 minutes on the highway into Boulder.
Yep. Original RK, use your alumni contacts to pass the word around. Colorado home crowd noise level needs to be twice as loud for 16 minutes every home game this year. Last year, they only got loud after a highlight.
I respectfully disagree with that last part.
It was loud
Yeah.
for Nebraska and CSU.
Yes. I think what ended up happening is just like over the course of the year, the fans just got kind of like beaten down a little bit.
I mean, you watched Shador get sacked so many times.
Yeah. And I think that one game that we don't talk about, took a lot of the wind out of the sails. With that being said, I agree. We need to step up as a fan base this year. And the first test of that, as I tweeted out today, is the stripe out. We can do this, guys. We can do this. There's a very helpful infographic that tells you exactly what to do. But we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, so we see it. It is on you, fair listener, to pass that to the people that won't see it. And I can speak from experience here, because I literally sent it to my family today. And it was like, here's the graphic, don't mess it up. So like your mom, your grandma, your friend who like deleted social media because they were going through like a free spirit phase. You got to get the word out to them and make sure that everyone knows what they need to wear to the game.
Oh my God. That's so good. You're right though. Let them know.
One more question came in. Would you guys consider commentating a live football game at Folsom?
Absolutely, Elizabeth.
There's a lot of broadcasting restrictions on that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But we have done watch-alongs.
We have.
They're kind of cursed.
They are. But we've done 3.
Yeah.
And we're over 3.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't sound like we're going to have any watch-alongs this year, I don't think.
Nope. Nothing will beat our first watch along together.
The Minnesota one?
The Minnesota game, and literally the first play of the game.
No.
JT Shroud got strip sacked.
Right when we go
The
live.
second we went live, we're like, "Hey, welcome in." Oh, fuck.
Yeah, trying to get through the third quarter when it's 35-0 or whatever was like, oh wow.
Oh man. All you can do is laugh. Let go of hell.
Oh man, let go of hell.
Let go of hell. That's really all we got, guys.
Anything else?
I guess this.
I think that is all we have.
Yeah, that's really all it. I even did the scroll.
Ryan Speed says happy belated. Happy birthday to whoever he's talking to. And happy birthday to you next week, bro.
Yeah. Coach K says no more watch-alongs. It won't be an option this year because we're going to every road game. So,
do we play each other in CFB this week?
I think we're technically in week 2. So yeah, no, I play Clemson.
We're in week 3.
No, we're in week 2. We played week 0.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Now we're in week 2.
Now we're in week 2. Okay.
So we don't play. By the way, in my other league, I have the mighty Rice Owls.
Yeah.
At 9-0 and unranked at 9-0, but because of the system being kind of glitchy for the college football playoff, I'm still the highest ranked G5 team, and I have a first round bye.
Dude, UAB is really good now.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, the CFP rankings
they're so janky.
I was ranked like 9th in the actual polls, like AP polls and all that. Mm-hmm. And I go in, same thing. I go in as a 3 seed into the CFP, and I play the team who's 1 in the polls, Penn State, had to play week 1 like on campus.
Dude.
And I was like, how am I given a bye here?
That's insane. By the way, great point from, was it Girls Club or Louise, about Shador's podcast. I listened to the Antoine Hill episode today. Oh, it was Louise.
Good?
Really good.
Insightful?
Yeah, it's funny.
Interesting, okay.
I love this side of Shador.
Yeah.
Driving the show, and I even sent him a text about it today. It's like super impressive, man. He's taken that host role and kind of killing it.
He's crushing it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go home and watch today. All right. We have a fantasy football draft to go do.
Do you?
We do.
Yep, the DNVR Fantasy Football League.
All right.
Oh, by the way, someone did have a comment asking for us to do like a Buffs Fantasy League. So,
interesting. All right.
I mean, we can set something up easy.
Sure. We'll figure it out.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Let go of hell.
Let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.